Another one.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tincho. This week, we're going to talk about Kevin Durant joining the Warriors and my stance on it. And I have my boy Josie here.
What's up, guys?
He's a Warriors fan, and he has his own point of view as to why Kevin Durant joining the Warriors was actually a smart move for both sides. Guys, so you guys know my stance on it. I think that it was a cowardly move from Kevin Durant, to say the least, to join the 73-9 Warriors. But I have Josie here who thinks otherwise, so I'm going to let him take over and kind of give his point of view before I give him my rebuttal.
So first off, Kevin Durant, one of the top 5 players in the league, right?
Correct.
He was looking for a change of scenery, and he wanted to play in a nice offense system where the ball moves a lot and doesn't stop like our boy Westbrook here. He wanted to learn a little bit more about the whole team aspect and win that championship. It's not like he just joined the defending champs. He joined a team that lost in 7. So it's a smart move on his part, getting away from Westbrook, because the Thunder were leaning towards, I wouldn't say leaning, but it was becoming more of Westbrook's team.
So I do have to agree with his points. I think that playing with Westbrook is not a championship caliber team for Kevin Durant. And you are right, the organization as a whole for the Thunder was leaning more towards Westbrook, and they were kind of giving him that special treatment, to say the least. So I feel like at some points Kevin Durant did feel underappreciated in OKC, and being the player that he is, he definitely needed to go somewhere where he did feel like he was appreciated for the player that he was. And I understand him wanting to leave. My only problem was the team that he went to.
Why not? They just lost a championship. It's not like they were defending champs. It's not like he went to Cleveland.
They won it in 2015.
Yeah.
73-win team.
Yeah.
A win short from back-to-back.
Yeah. A win short.
A win short. If Draymond doesn't get suspended Game 5, they win it again.
And L's an L, right?
And L's an L. It's not like they weren't a championship caliber team. They had the pieces set up. They were ready. Again, they were a win away.
Yeah.
So they could have easily won back-to-back. In the long run, the Warriors had a better plan going forward than the Cavs themselves did. So even if the Cavs were the defending champions, going forward, the Warriors had a way better structure and a way better team.
Even with an injured Bogut and a Harrison Barnes who just disappeared in the finals.
Exactly.
I think they were over Harrison Barnes. They needed a new small forward. Why not Durant?
I've mentioned this in my article before. If you're a team and one of the best players in the league is in free agency, you're going to try to go out and get him. 100%. Every player. I understand the Warriors' point of view, and obviously, if they can go from Harrison Barnes to Kevin Durant, any team in the league would do so.
Yeah.
They always want to improve. And even if they would have won it, they still would have looked out for even a better team, even if a better player.
Right. So, like I said before, Durant lost LeBron in the finals.
That's true.
Why not join a team where you're basically guaranteed to go back into the finals and face LeBron again and go at him head on? He was considering the Clippers, the Wizards, and the Celtics. Maybe the Celtics had a shot.
No, not so much. No, I'm saying if the Celtics would have signed Durant, I don't think they would have taken out LeBron. Going forward, don't you think that like hurts your legacy as a player? Because now he has a ring.
He does have a ring.
He does have a ring.
He's the Finals MVP.
But everyone that looks at it is like, oh, he won a ring with the Warriors. Westbrook was one of the reasons why he left, right? If OKC trades Westbrook,
depends what you got in return. I think it's really hard for OKC to attract free agents. They've never really signed a big-time free agent when Westbrook and Durant were there. Traded Harden, that was like a big red flag for Durant.
Yeah.
They really got nothing back in return for Harden.
We can both agree that the OKC organization is the one that ultimately pushed him away, right?
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time until Westbrook leaves the team.
But Westbrook did sign that extension after Durant left. So he's there for 2 more years.
He could easily join. He could pull a Durant.
He could, but I don't think Westbrook would do that.
He could pull a What makes you say that? You would think that Durant...
Look what Westbrook just did this past season.
No, I'm not talking stats-wise. If you tell me 2012, Durant is going to leave OKC and go to the best regular season team in history, you wouldn't have believed that.
I wouldn't, because he is one of the first people to tweet after LeBron signed
Exactly.
Why are people trying to do these super teams?
That's
Let's
what I'm
just
saying.
keep it OG. And when people
Before we move on, I want to touch this. What do you feel about the speculation that Durant's decision was worse than LeBron's decision in 2010?
I think it's LeBron. I think it's flat out LeBron. I think what Durant did was really classy. Mm-hmm. He had a letter, okay? Mm-hmm. He put it up there for everyone to see on the internet. OKC. Mm-hmm. I don't think LeBron really Cleveland,
Mhm.
you also thank OKC for like basically like raising him as like a young adult.
That's true.
Not 1, not 2, not 3. Durant didn't say any of that.
I do agree with your points to some extent, but I think that at the end of the day, Durant's decision was way worse than LeBron's. Given the fact that Durant, again, he joined a 73-9 team, whereas LeBron joined a 5th seed Miami team that was basically Dwayne Wade carrying the team. He brought in Mario Chalmers to be a new starter. Right?
I mean, he was already on the team, but they had to have a point guard.
Exactly. He wasn't a starter the season before. Chris Bosh was a new starter, obviously. Dwayne Wade was the only starter left from the season before.
Yeah.
So he had to bring in a whole different team. They had to bring in a whole different culture and stuff. Whereas when Kevin Durant, the same core group of players are still there. Sure, their bench was different, but their same core group of
They
players.
didn't need a new starting center.
Okay, because Zaza played a huge role in the championship. Zaza didn't even play in the second half down the stretch.
Shout out to Kawhi.
Yeah, he didn't even play. He didn't even play down the stretch. You know that after the second half, Zaza.
David West wasn't a key signing. He took a lot of less money to come.
Yeah, but it was chump change because after they signed Durant, whatever money they had left, they had to fill those bench spots up.
As an NBA fan and as a Heat fan, do you think the Warriors would have won the championship this year without Durant?
Yeah.
You think they would have beat Cleveland?
Yeah.
No.
They had the team. If Durant doesn't come, they keep most of their bench, right? Barnes leaves. That was for sure.
Harrison Barnes
He was
definitely
going to leave. Maybe not Durant caliber, but they signed another forward.
Well, actually, I don't know if Harrison Barnes was going to leave.
He was going to leave. He was already talking about it throughout the finals.
I think he would have got more money with the Warriors.
They weren't going to give him that money. What, they were going to give him money for what? How many points did he average? Like 8 in the finals?
Probably 8, but throughout the season, I think he averaged.
They weren't going to give him all the money that he wanted. He wanted way more money.
A lot of people forget that at the beginning of the 2015-2016 season, they were talking about a contract extension with him.
That is true.
And that was kind of dangerous. And that was a very smart move by Bob Myers and Steve Kerr to not sign him. Because he played like shit for the rest of the season.
My point is, when Kevin Durant came in, there was already a set culture there. There was already a set team.
I think Durant wanted that.
No, and I get that. But what I'm saying is, it looks like a cowardly move in his point of view. So obviously, at one point in your life, you played sports. Correct?
Still do.
Okay, correct too, right? He still gets trashed by me in basketball.
This is not true.
For example, let's say you're playing even a pickup game of 21.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you're up 18-5.
Yeah.
Right? Your team blows that lead and they lose. How do you feel about that?
I'm obviously going to be upset. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to any athletes.
Would you want to join the rival team that just beat you?
No, I'm going to want a shot at beating them. But what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
The Thunder were getting their ass whipped by the Warriors every season.
We get that. Look, we've established
We've
established that leaving OKC was a smart move for Durant.
Yes.
But the thing that bothers me
is that he left to go to a championship.
Not just that, they were up 3-1.
Yes.
3-1. One more win, and they're back in the finals. He gets a shot at LeBron. Again, they're a win away from the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Right? First NBA Finals since 2012. They blow that lead.
Yeah, and Durant had like a front row seat to see like, wow, this is who I'm going to be playing with if I re-sign.
Remember that Durant didn't necessarily play good that series.
He played very, very, I wouldn't say average, but a little above average.
He wasn't
great.
He wasn't where Durant should have been. I get him wanting to leave.
Yeah.
But they're up 3-1. Yeah. They're 48 minutes from another NBA final appearance. I get him wanting to leave 100%. Yeah. I wouldn't want to stay in Oklahoma City. if I'm Kevin Durant, if I'm one of the best players in the league, I don't want to wait around until Westbrook decides, hey, you know what? I'll give him the ball. If the Warriors hadn't beat the Thunder that year, or even if they wouldn't have came back from a 3-1 deficit, I think it would have been frowned upon that he went to the Warriors. But the fact that they had just lost to them, that they had just blown a 3-1 lead to him, that made it all worse, right? Yeah. When LeBron went to Miami, it was because Cleveland couldn't get past the Celtics,
and he had a shit.
And that's understandable. Yeah, LeBron didn't join the Celtics. Yeah, LeBron didn't join the team that was beating him consistently.
This is where I agree with you. Like, it's kind of like shady on his part to join a team that already like they lost them in the playoffs. Yeah, 73-9, and
it's the best regular season team in history.
Yeah, you gotta give Durant props because as soon as he went back to the NBA Finals, Homeboy went off, and he got over 30 points a game.
He lit it
He
up.
hit that game winner in Game 3, and he felt like watching Game 4 when they got blown out, he was like the only one that wanted that game.
He knew he had to. Because imagine if the Warriors win, but Durant struggles. Imagine Durant puts a LeBron 2011 Finals performance and the Warriors win.
If Durant struggles and the Warriors win, then it looks like he's just on.
It's even worse.
He's on for the ride.
That
didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and I gotta give him props for it. I gotta give him props. Durant came out and he balled in the finals. Right. So going forward, do you think that this move from Kevin Durant will tarnish his reputation forever, or do you think after a couple of years people will forgive him?
I think if this would have happened 10 years ago, maybe in 2010, I think a lot of people would have criticized him. But now that we're in the era of super teams, okay, LeBron kind of started that.
He definitely did start that.
I think like people are gonna look at Durant like, you know, he earned it. He balled out. We saw him ball out the whole year. His defense really improved. It wasn't like he was just there to make buckets.
That's true.
I think people are gonna look at Durant and say, he's up there with one of the greats. So Martin, I'm kind of curious. What do you think about Durant's legacy?
So obviously he's one of the greatest, one of the best players in the league right now, one of the best players in the last few years. If this is the only ring that he wins, it won't have the same impact as other players that have won one ring. So if the Warriors win 3, 4, even 5 more rings, the way that he joined the Warriors will kind of be forgotten, and he'll be remembered for the amount of rings that he had. But if this is the only ring that he has, it will be remembered by the way that he joined it.
What I think he'll be remembered for the most is "You're the real MVP" meme. And I just want to say thanks, guys, for having me. Thank you, Martin.
All right, guys. So that's it for this week's Tuesdays with Tincho. Catch us next week. Josie won't be back with us. Next week, we'll be talking soccer back again. I hope you guys enjoyed this special edition, and we'll see you guys next week.
Another one, and another one.